Good evening, my dear friends. So today I am going to teach about MMPM 007, which is Integrated Marketing Communication, and the topic is impact of advertising in marketing. So I am Professor Sampath, working in SOMS. So I would like to start with the definition. And when we are talking about integrated marketing communication, so it is related with the communication where we are studying about a 4 P's: product, price, place, and promotion. So in product, price, place, and promotion, this integrated marketing communication leads with the promotion, where we used to talk about the communication. So in this, whatever the advertising, when we are talking about in a business, we will start with the marketing and will extend with the advertising area. So first you can take the basic, that whatever the definition we are talking, the definition of marketing based on this American Marketing Association. So marketing includes all activities having to do with effecting changes to the ownership and the position of products and services. So the marketing activity starts from the manufacturers to warehouse to ultimate customers. So this is how generally we can say when we talk about the marketing. So it's a socio-economic process by individuals and groups obtain what they need and want through creating, offering, and freely exchanging products and services of value with the others. So this is generally we can say about the definition, which is a standard. But in present scenario, the marketing concept is integrated with the satisfying the customer needs and integrating the organization effort, and also they are focusing on whatever we are talking about, the long-term success. So in this context, when we talk about satisfy customer needs, so earlier we used to talk about needs, wants, and demands. Today, whatever the demands will become our wants, and wants will become one day is our needs. So the marketer should identify the needs and they should make integrating of the entire organization effort, and they should focus on long-term success. So this is how the present scenario of the marketing. And when you talk about the marketing, so it is connecting with the relationship, it is connecting with the global, it is connecting with the diversity along with the technology. This is what we can say about the future of marketing in present scenario. So all these are the 4 very powerful factors which are influencing towards the connecting with the prospective customers. So in this relationship, or when we talk about accessing globally, or when we are talking about the diversification, so the technology playing a vital role in this context. So here, so when we talk about the technology, so how best you are going to communicate, how best you are going to promote your product also very important. So in this context, you can see that the purpose of any business is to create a customer. It is a customer who determines what a business is. It is the customer and he alone who through being or willing to pay for a good or product or services. So that will be converts into economic resource, into wealth, and things into the products. This is how we used to talk about the market, where it is leading. Right, earlier you could take 100 years back. If you take 100 years back, history of marketing, it started with the production, later it went to the selling, later it went to the marketing, and presently we are talking about relationship. So here when we talk about the earlier scenario in marketing, so it started from the production point of view. Now it is started with the marketing orientation. And we are talking about the product orientation, we are talking about the customer orientation, we are talking about the supply, we are talking about demand, we are talking about sales orientation, we are saying as a satisfaction orientation or internal or external, whatever the things are changing according to market situation. So in this context, when we say the future, whatever we are talking about, the 4 products, the product, price, place, and promotion. Now in the future we can call them as a 4 C's, which is a customer solution, customer cost, and customer convenience, and also communicating with the customers. So this is what the 4 C's we can expect in the present scenario. So all whatever the customer solution, so we should identify the customer needs, we should identify the customer wants, we should identify their demands, and we try to make a product with the customer solution. Then we can see the cost. The cost is very important in present scenario. So the customer can analyze the cost, and cost is playing an important role for decision making by the customers. So in this context, the price is playing an important role. So here, the whatever the price we are talking, it will be in the future as a customer cost. So he will also, according to the cost, the decision will take place. So in this context, we are talking about the place also. You take the place. So earlier we used to talk about the distribution and other things, but today we are talking about the customer convenience. We know how best we are getting products, how best we are using all these applications through our technology, through our online mode, and how they are very convenient to reach the target market. So this is how the customer convenience is existing. And also we are talking about the promotion, which is our subject, is how best you are communicating with your customers. So in this context, when you are talking about the 4 P's which are converting into 4 C's, so in this C, that whatever the promotion we are talking, it is with the communication with the customer. So that is very important. And in this, whatever the promotion we are talking, and we are saying as a integrated marketing communication, where we are integrating all 5 factors which are make as a elements of the promotion mix or marketing communication mix, which is integrated marketing communication. So in this context, the 5 elements which is called as advertising, public relations or publicity, sales promotion, personal selling, direct marketing, all these are the important aspects to promote your product. So in this context, when we are talking about the market, we are talking about the business, when you are talking about the communication, then we can say about in this communication, the advertising, which is our topic, the role of advertising in business on today's area. So here you can take advertising, public relations or publicity or sales promotion or personal selling or direct marketing. When you talk about advertising, we know any paid form of a non-personal presentation is called as advertising. When you talk about the publicity, so without paying anything, when you are communicating, it is called as a publicity. When you are talking about the sales promotion, it is a short-term incentive where we can promote our products. So you can see 90% of today products, so they are coming with this sales promotion aspects. And we are saying about the personal selling. If you take all industrial products or if you take a services oriented products, so they have the major role with the personal selling, and ultimately we are talking about the direct marketing. So this is how today scenario about the marketing communication in present scenario. So here when we talk about all the factors, whatever we are talking about the communication mix, so when you say advertising or personal selling or public relations or sales promotion, so everywhere the IT is related, and everywhere when you talk about the stores that sell the products or products price or products package, everything it can be supported with the information technology for making their marketing activities. So here when we say about the future, so here all these 5 elements are very powerful, and among this today topic is about advertising. So advertising is generally, we can say, is a marketing strategy to promote products and services. So how best we will promote? So when we are talking about advertising, first we can see that the products. So in this product, we should see the nature of the product. So whether it is a durable product, non-durable product or services. And also you can see that the product line or product mix. Then you can talk about the choosing the advertising. So here when we talk about the products, when we talk about the services, when we talk about the durable product or non-durable product, even services, so we have different strategies for making. So here when we say generally simply about the types of advertising, we can say it's a digital advertising or print advertising or TV and radio advertising or outdoor advertising. All these are the different types where we can access to reach our target market. So here when we say about the advertising in a business growth, when you talk about the role of advertising, so role of how best you can advertise to communicate your prospective customers or target market. So you can see the brand awareness. So the brand awareness is very essentially, n number of brands are available. Unbranded products also they are ruling in the market. So here when we talk about to capture your market, so brand awareness is very important. So the brand loyalty, brand extension or brand image, whatever you are talking about brand, so definitely the awareness by the about the products or about the brand definitely help us to promote your product. So here the major role of advertising in business growth is that it creates the brand awareness, and also it definitely increase the sales. If you promote, if you advertise through different types of media, so definitely it will help us to increase your sales, and it is a competitive advantage. So n number of competitors are available in the market, and definitely you can make an advantage by utilizing your products, and definitely it supports to get the expansion of your market. So generally when we talk about the market, we used to talk about the market leader, market follower, market challenger or market niche. So it will shows that what is your market. So you have 10% market or 20%. So it help us to expand your market with the support of advertising through various modes. So here this is what we can say about the tools, or this is what the exactly definition and the various tools where you can promote your advertisement. So any paid form of non-personal presentation and promotion of ideas, products or services by an identified sponsor. So if it is a paid form, we can call it as advertisement. If it is a non-paid form, we can call them as a public relations or publicity. So here you can see the major role will, nowadays we are talking about the print and broadcast media. So if you take a print media, okay, we can say about newspapers, magazines, journals and everything. But you can see the broadcast media. So it is almost ruling entire advertising area. You know that what is today's digital marketing, what is today's social marketing, and how it is influencing with the support of broadcast media. So we used to talk about the motion pictures, brochures, posters. You see, even today also the cine field, most of the advertisement that depends on posters. So you can see the directories, all health background. Whatever the business they are making, they go through these directories and brochures, and you can see the billboards and display signs and POP display, that point of purchase we used to talk about. All these are the various modes of we can say the tools about advertising the products or services. But today we are talking about very powerful, which is a print and broadcast media, where it will makes lot of market share to promote their products. So here when we talk about the advertising and how best you will make to plan to reach your objectives. So here it help us to create or maintain the brand awareness, and it will also change the consumer beliefs or attitudes. You can see when you are giving proper communication towards your products and services, definitely it will help us to change the consumer mindset, and definitely it help us to change their beliefs and attitudes, and definitely it leads to purchase intent. This is very important when we talk about the major objective of your advertising is it will influence the purchase intent, and also it help us to stimulate trial use. So one time use, second time use, repeat customer, or we can say the loyal customer. So everywhere we can see that advertising plays an important role, and also it will help us to convert one time user into repeat purchasers, and it is also support for making the brand switching. So if you give proper advertisement, proper communication and proper motivation, definitely it help us to encourage the brand switching also. So here what the objectives when we talk about the marketing objectives, when we talk about advertising, when we talk about everything, so it supports with the corporate objectives, because advertising is required advertising budget, and marketing objectives, whatever you're talking, that will be based on the corporate objectives. The objectives of the organization will help us to make the creating of your marketing objectives supports to design about your advertising object. So this is how we used to talk about how we are setting to make our objectives for making the organization as a leader supplier of a cosmetic industry. For example, if you take a objective of the corporate is about 30% in next 5 years, and definitely they will make a 10% share of their total cosmetic market in the India. So they will definitely try to reach at least 40% by particular year. This is how the advertising is designed according to the organizational objectives will be converted into marketing objectives, will lead you to take the advertising objectives. So here we can say there is a smart principle which can call them as a SMART, which is a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time specific are the things required. These are the principles we can say will make you to take the marketing. So this is how we used to talk about the developing the advertising campaign, where you can see the target market and you try to make the objectives, and according to objectives you have to prepare the budget. Then you try to create the strategy, and according to the strategy you have to evaluate the advertising effects. Then you can see the selecting and schedule of your media. This is how we develop a advertising campaign, which is very important for promoting through integrated marketing communication. So here always when you're talking about advertising, when you're talking about the communication, so the target market you have to identify. So the target market, we know how best we can do by segmenting and identifying the target market, and you have to make the positioning in consumer mind about the product positioning. So you have to differentiate by communicating and designing the creative strategy, how best you will create with the market. So this is how we used to talk about the message also. When you talk about the message, we used to talk about the IDA, which is attention, interest, desire and action, where the message should be very clear and very informative, and also it can be differentiate with your competitors. So which is called as the IDA model, where we can see the attention, interest, desire and action is required for creating the message which communicate through advertisement. So this is how the importance of advertising in business. So when you talk about importing that whatever the importance in creating the message will help us to build the brand recognition. So it will help us to build the brand loyalty. It helps us to build the brand extensions. This is how the importance of advertising in business. So definitely it will help us to increase the customer, and definitely it leads to the drivers for revenue growth. So this is how the importance of advertising in business, and this is how the drivers will help us to take the growth. So it helps us to expand the customer base. It also helps us to boost the sales and profits. It enhances the brand credibility. This is how we can talk about the drivers, which drives help us to lead for the marketing with the support of communication through advertising. So here when we talk about the impact of on brand awareness and customer loyalty, so definitely it creates emotional connections. So you can take a lot of advertisements we can see every day, and definitely so it will influence on psychological factors, and definitely it will create the emotional connection toward the market and toward the target market also. And it is also help us to strengthen the customer retention. So customer retention is very important, how best you will retain your customers. So first time customer, second time customer, repeat customer, also they will switch over to competitors' products. So here this will help us, thus brand awareness and customer loyalty, or the proper communication about your products and services definitely strengthens the customer retention, and ultimately it will support and help us to compete with your competitors. So it will differentiate. From your competitors. You are very strong rather than your competitors. This is how the communication is supporting through advertising. And definitely, if you take a business point of view, it will help us to take the economic and competitive advantages. So definitely, when you take the increasing of your sales, and when you're talking about the advertising which support for making the your market share to increase, so definitely it will help us to encourages the market expansion, and it increases the industry competition, and definitely it will supports to make the economic development of your organization. This is how we can say that in competitive advantages for making all these things. So here when we talk about the challenges, so high cost, we can say that's expensive when we talk about utilizing your print media, broadcast media. So definitely it will help us to take the consumers as a skepticisms, or you can talk about evolving the market trends. So these are the challenges we can say. So most of the advertisements, definitely it will help us to take the decisions with the support of technology, and there is a lot of expensive activities will take place when we talk about the barriers in utilizing the advertising. So when we say about the impact on consumer behavior, so definitely when you say about the role of advertisement, how it will influence on consumers, when you talk about the business point of view, okay, we can expect more sales and more market share and other things. But if you take as a consumer behavior whole, you can see that it influence on buying decisions. So whatever the proper communication through market, definitely it influences the buying decision, and definitely it shapes the brand perception. So the brand perception, and you can see that creates brand loyalty. These are definitely, we can say, when we talk about the brand. Brand is nothing but a logo or symbol which definitely help us to make. If you take generally, when we talk about the consumer behavior, when you talk about the influencing buying decisions, so you can see that various stages of product, we can see where it is introduction stage, the strategies are different, growth stage, the strategies are different, maturity stage also different, and you can see in the decline, so we have to influence towards the buying decisions. So here the marketing, whatever the product life cycle or whatever the nature of the product, like whether it is a consumer market or whether it is industrial market or it is services, all these also influence based on your advertising. So it will also shape the perception of our brand. So brand perception or brand loyalty, they are very important for making decisions. And here you can see that whatever the impact on economic, so it definitely help us to take the economic growth, and ultimately you can see that it creates jobs in marketing and media. When you say about advertising, so a lot of technology utilizing and lot of people will involve for creating these type of media, this type of marketing, where it help us to encourage the innovations also. This is what we can say about the drivers which definitely support for making the economic growth, and also it creates jobs in marketing and media, and ultimately it supports for making the encourages of innovation. And these are the generally we can say when we talk about the challenges and ethical concerns. So it leads for the misleading of advertisement and privacy concerns and consumer manipulation. All these are generally we can say these are the challenges not only in advertising, even if you start a business also. These are the very powerful ethical concerns which definitely influence towards the market. So here when we talk about the business, when we talk about the advertisement, when we talk about the communication, so the communication is a weapon where it can help us to manage your business towards the reaching of your marketing objectives, which support for the organizational objectives. So in this context, the advertising, where it is a part of integrated marketing communication, which is also leads to the product, where the product price, place and promotion. In this promotion mix, this particular advertisement is a topic where it covers with the support of technology, and it is integrated with the integrated marketing communication. So here we can see that whatever the effective advertising is crucial for business growth, but it must be strategic and adaptive. So this is what we used to talk about the marketing. So when we talk about a business, so any business, they start with their target to reach their objectives. So any organization, so they frame their marketing objectives based on their market, and once they reach their target market, definitely, so they will take advertising as a weapon to reach the target market. So in this context, when we talk about the role of advertising in business, so nowadays with this whatever the social media, whatever we are talking about, digital marketing, and everything will be based on the technology, and the technology is supporting, and it is integrated. If you take earlier, we used to talk about business process engineering, we used to talk about customer relationship management, we used to talk about business, whatever the technology, and we used to talk about everything made into supply chain. And in this supply chain, the relationship plays an important role, and in the relationship is leads always with a proper communication for their prospective market. So in this context, we can say the advertising also playing an important role in marketing activities to satisfy their organizational goals.
पत्रकारिता या जनसंचार के क्षेत्र में आपकी रुचि है,